Mr. Kurila grabbed a large, fresh lobster, hooked it onto the fishing line, and handed it to his son, Rakuri. Without hesitation, Rakuri tossed it straight into the sea. No, a fresh lobster like that would cost at least $100 in my country. They prepared 5 of them as bait. Such expensive bait. What kind of fish were they aiming for? Not long after throwing all the bait into the sea, one of the floats suddenly stood upright. Rakuri quickly bent down, grabbed the float, and started reeling in the line. Judging by the effort he put in, it seemed like a big fish had taken the bait. Then his face gradually stiffened. After a few minutes of pulling, a giant leopard grouper emerged from the water. Looking at its massive mouth, it could easily swallow a half-pound lobster whole. This fish weighed about 5-6 pounds, and at a market price of 60 yuan per pound, the father and son could earn at least $300. But this was just the warm-up. Suddenly, another float started shaking violently. Kurila quickly steered the boat over. As he grabbed the float, Rakuri frantically reeled in the line. Judging by the tension, this fish wasn't small either. Even though his hands were burning from the friction, Rakuri held on. After a few rounds of struggle, another 5-pound grouper was hauled onto the boat. With these 2 fish, today was already a success. They continued waiting for more bites. Soon, the 3rd float began to tremble. This time, as they reeled it in, the line wasn't as tight. It seemed like a smaller fish had taken the bait, but as the fish surfaced, it turned out to be another big grouper. Kurila swiftly pulled it onto the boat, cut the fishing line, and placed it in the live fish tank to keep it fresh. The 4th float didn't disappoint either. Rakuri had to put in some effort to reel it in, but after a few rounds of struggle, yet another grouper, slightly smaller, was added to their catch. Fishing like this was like picking up money from the sea. With such an abundant haul, it was hard not to make a profit. The 5th float didn't bring much of a surprise. After a few firm pulls, another grouper was hooked. Finally, the last round of fishing did not let them down either. They landed another 3-4 pound fish. In total, 6 fishing lines brought in 6 massive fish. Today was definitely a jackpot day. Since the fish were still alive, they rushed back to the harbor to sell them immediately. At the seafood shop, they weighed each fish one by one, bringing in a total of 4,800 yuan, roughly $600. A day's work for such a rewarding catch. Do these 2 have even crazier fishing tricks up their sleeves? Stay tuned for next time.